excuse me, I need to talk about these 3 books. Also, wrong order. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to talk about The Expanse. So, I have read the first 3 books of this series and I want to get into this because these 3 books already exist as the Amazon series. So, you need to know what the books are about and how good they are and if you should read it if you like the series. So, let's get into it. This is gonna be short. I hope so. So, The Expanse series is a book written by 2 authors going with a pen name of James S.A.Corey. And books are called Leviathan Wakes, Caliban's War, and Abaddon's Gate. Let's talk about Leviathan Wakes first. So, Leviathan Wakes is the first book and it is starting on a strong note. This book is about humanity in their stage of having populated the solar system but not going further than that. And they have still these power dynamics between each other we had on Earth. There was a war between Earth and Mars and then they started to get along. And this book follows a virus that starts infecting people in the outer asteroid belts and planets. And a girl is missing, a crew comes together and it is told through the eyes of an old detective and through a young captain. And I think this book is so great in writing action and exploring these ideas that classic sci-fi did, like asking questions and giving you some discussions and solutions for it. And I think this is so great in this book. The characters are developed so well. I love the universe. You feel like this book gives you the raw, ugly humanity feeling you should get from books sometimes but don't get. And this is really, we didn't become these empathic, peaceful beings we sometimes see in other science fiction, in hopeful ones. We didn't become a war-obsessed species in other sci-fi. We are just plainly stupid human. And this is it. And these books, like I have read them so far, just gives them different situations and explores these structures and trust in other humans and egocentrism and fear. And I love it. This is the best thing about it. And I think the first book is extremely strong. This is easily a 5 out of 5 stars. I think the pacing is great. I think this book has great action, great characters, and this is just an epic sci-fi book. And I would recommend to at least read the first one. You can stop after the first one. It feels very finished. There are some questions left, of course there are, or there wouldn't be other, I think, 8 books coming after that. No. It is not completely finished, but it is finished enough that you could read this as a standalone. And this makes it super great. This is the start of a found family in a kind of a hostile, capitalistic, human, ugly future. And the second book brings in a very politic note. This explores the ramifications of the first book, the political structures, the corporate influence, and this also brings in one of my favorite characters ever, and that's Christian Avasarala. Well, Christian is an Indian, some 70-something UN politician who likes to swear a lot. He's a great-grandmother to her great children, but is still the greatest badass I have read. I love her. And this book also has great action in it. There are space battles. There is the threat of a war between Earth and Mars. There is exploration of this whole found family crew we have this found in the first book, and there are aspects of these corporate structures doing experiments with something they don't know. This is very human. Starting to try to make a profit of something they don't know anything about. And it kind of bites them in the ass. Yeah, that's it. That's humanity. And I think this is a bit more political than the first book. Also, I think it's the one that is actually starting the whole later plots. I think it's also great that it explores PTSD from in the characters from the first book and the whole consequences. These books do not forgive. They will follow through on consequences on everything, and I love that. So I think the second book is kind of from the pacing, I think a bit slower than the first book, but has still some very great action in it. Oh, this is the second book. I'm holding up the wrong book. I'm sorry. The second book is Caliban's War, and I like Caliban's War. This brings in this stuff I have talked about. Also, it is kind of showing the fragility of humanity in the universe, in the solar system, depending on each other. And I really think this is also a great book. This is also a 5 out of 5 stars for me, because I love to get into these political structures and into strong characters, into just this human chaos. This feels so familiar, and this also I feel the pain for the stupidity of humanity in this, and I love it. So now finally to the right book. This is Abaddon's Gate. This is the third book. This is the one I have read recently, and this is exploring something more out of humanity. This is exploring religion, and in the face of the unknown, in the face of space, and in the humanity is going to the stars, and they are no longer bound to this earth. So what does that mean for faith? And what does faith actually make a human to be? Like, what is how do humans deal with faith in this very scientific, very explorative context? And it's done so well. I'm not a religious person, but I loved it. The main religious character is in this is a lesbian pastor, and I love her. You continue on with the crew you know so well, and this is the start of something big. This book, this is opening a whole new aspect of this universe, and because it's doing so, the first 250 pages are super slow. I had my struggles with this. The first 200 pages, I just felt like, why are you doing this to me? This is torture. Why nothing is happening? Nothing. And also a character is introduced in Abaddon's Gate I just plainly hate. And I just feel it is very specific character. Some people are going to love, some people are going to hate. And I think to a big part you are supposed to hate her in the beginning, but I see that they are aiming for the redemption arc, and I see that I will meet her in the next books. And this character for me feels like Nebula in the Marvel universe, and I have my issues with that character a lot. But there is also great action. There is some physics. I'm not sure if this would work, but it is not completely wrong, I think. Not like other sci-fi books. So this is okay. This is also exploring more about this virus from the first book. I don't want to spoiler you more. And it all is very well connected, and this whole expansion of the universe feels very natural, which is good. So overall, I love this universe so much. This is action-packed. This is sci-fi in the purest form. I think this is without an agenda. You see a lot of books, they have kind of these moral ideas behind them, like Becky Chambers, for example. Becky Chambers, her universe is very inclusion focused. Humanity does not have war between each other. They accept all sexualities or gender identities. It is very inclusionist, and this is the escapism I love about it. It's beautiful. But these books are the continuation of human behavior into the future. And this is why I love it. I adore how movie-like these feel. I adore the ideas in them. I mostly like the different characters that come in every book. And the found family in this is so beautiful. I have such minor problems with this, and they are starting to fix it, which I'm happy about. But yeah, when the thing I was talking about, what they are starting to fix, is this feels very male and straight, which is my problem with a lot of science fiction. But this is not too bad. And they are starting to develop it more. They have great female characters in Caliban's War. They are starting to include queer relationships in Abaddon's Gate and more female characters. And I'm happy about that. Just please, if you're writing science fiction, just try to be more diverse, please. I don't mean you don't have to cater to my queer tastes in everything. I don't expect that. But if everybody is kind of white male, and yeah, then you have a problem. I'm talking to you, Pierce Brown, by the way. But I think he got better in the later books as well. I think this is a great book. If this whole series is great for people who love sci-fi, and I recommend this to Star Trek fans, Stargate fans, especially Stargate fans, okay? And I just wanted to do a spoiler-free review of the three books. I know a lot of people are doing reviews for the first book, but I wanted to tell you that that it continues on to be good, okay? And I'm just looking forward to the next books, and I hope I get more Christian Avasarala, because she is my boo. I love her so much. So thank you very much for joining me today. I love talking about my books, and I love this series, and I will update you on the Expanse series. Maybe I will update you after one book or after three. Either way, you will see me again rambling about this universe, and tell me if you want a character exploration of them or more details about this series, what I love about them, because I have a lot of things to talk about. So thank you for joining me today. I have other sci-fi recommendations and stuff, so feel free to check those out, and I will see you in the next video. Subscribe in the meantime, and bye, my darlings.